Hey Sri Lanka, it's another edition of the Decibel podcast, and today I've got two individuals who you probably know from Sri Lanka's music scene, Grace and Wele. And there is a reason why the two of you are here. It's because the two of you are organizing something absolutely very, very cool for the late Talal. And thank you for doing this, by the way.
I think it's something we had to do.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us were in shock and still are in shock. It's the least we can do, I think.
Yeah. So first emotion I felt was anger, because all of this happened and none of us knew.
Yeah.
And with that rage building inside, I thought, we can't just let things end like that. It has to be a little bit more than that, because he lived, how he lived life. He can't.
Such a fun guy.
He doesn't deserve this death.
Yeah, and also what really sucked was none of us had that opportunity to say a proper goodbye. It was apparently his funeral was on Saturday, and then everyone got to know Sunday somehow. I think I got to know through Pubudu first. It just didn't strike me as anything, because I was like, oh, wait, is this guy for real? But then I saw your status and I was like, it took me a few hours. Because it was wait, no, this guy was so careful. And also it was, he was very active towards the end of the 2010s. And then I guess maybe Corona and other factors led him to just go, and because he was such a joyful guy. And for him to disappear for a while, maybe something would have happened, but everyone respected his privacy, and there was that. And
he was also not in the country for a while as well, right?
I'm not aware.
Yeah,
of
he was
that.
in Canada for a while, and then he came back, and he made some music.
He made some music. He got into stock trading, I think.
Yeah.
So last I heard, he was doing
trading. Yeah.
Yeah, he was doing quite good. And
Did you bring that?
yeah, sorry. And then we kind of lost touch, because I think he stopped using his phone. And the next thing I hear is this happened.
Yeah. That's just,
Even when Wele texted me, he was like, did you hear something? It was at 1:30 Saturday night, late
because
night.
I didn't want to spread misinformation.
Yeah, exactly. And then both of us were like, okay, who do we ask regarding this? And because you got to know from his neighbor who lives in the UK, was it?
I got to know from one of his classmates.
Classmates, yeah.
Who also heard it from someone else but was not sure.
Okay.
This was at 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I texted Grace, I texted a few other friends. And no one knew.
Yeah.
And then I told Pubudu. I told him not to kind of tell anyone else until we confirm that this is true. Yeah, and the next day when you called me, I had confirmation.
I called him around maybe 8 or something in the morning. I saw it at 6:30, his message, the one day that I sleep early. And then I spoke to his neighbor, who was his neighbor, who spoke to him 3 weeks prior to his passing. And because I knew him personally when he was in Sri Lanka, and he was like, I was looking for your number. Again, we've all lost touch over the years, right? And I knew him through Talal. So he was like, even I spoke to Talal over the phone through his mom's phone, right? So it was just kind of we had so many questions, even now, there are so many things to ask and know for some kind of closure, but the minute it was confirmed, I called Wele, and then I texted Talal's mom. Just what else can you do, right? And that's when I spoke to you as well, and then Wele was doing this, and
so I think we called the mosque.
I
called the
Maulana.
And that's how we found out. So the first thing I keep coming back to this was the anger because I didn't get to say goodbye, which is kind of why we are doing this now. Because it's just not the two of us. Like, so many people want that closure. And yeah.
So many people who don't live here as well, reached out saying, hey, like, how can we help? Because they haven't seen him in years, and he's left an impression with his friends at AIS, his friends at DS. I mean, the guy was an engineer and a rock star and like so many things in between, right? So he's touched a lot of lives.
Yeah. And so the 19th, and it's like a free event at the Otters Club. Is that where it is?
Starts at 6:30.
Starts at 6.
6, okay.
From 6 to 9. People keep asking me what's happening and all of that. It's going to be a few close friends of Talal's getting together, hopefully singing some songs, reciting some poetry,
sharing some stories.
Yeah, we have a list of people, but anyone is welcome to come and speak for a minute or two. We'd love it.
It's not a public event in that regard, because I've had some people reach out and say, hey, like, I'd like to sing and all. Maybe because I do open mics, they're kind of confusing this, but I just want to let people know, it's like, be respectful that this is a grieving event. It's not like a concert like that. If obviously you had a personal relationship with him, or like in support of anybody else who's grieving, please join. And if you want to take part, you can let us know. But other than that, please be respectful, because
because it's one of those things that'll give us probably some closure. And
it's meant to be a celebration of his life.
Yeah. And hopefully Hell No EE will resurface for one more time, because that was his
Definitely.
single.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was his first original too.
Yeah.
And thank you for posting those pictures from the Homegrown Awards. I didn't even know those existed.
So Praveen, one of the photographers, actually sent me another picture of me and him, and you were also there at that event, right?
This is what?
The
Homegrown Awards.
Oh yeah, like way
There's
back
a
when.
selfie bit of your wife, the Tharni, you, me, and Talal. It's so old, like
Right.
I remember, like, we all went for pizza afterwards. It was just like one of those things, and one of the pictures, Antoinette, who used to sing with Talal very often, they used to perform so many times. They have some wonderful memories as well.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing. If you have footage, if you have like pictures with Talal, send that across to us.
Yeah.
We are hiring a projector, and it's going to be a nice little slideshow of things. If anyone's everyone's watching this, you can send it across.
And it's a free event?
Yeah, free.
Yeah, it's free, completely free.
So in closing, guys, do you have anything you'd want people to know and stuff?
I think people know what they need to know. I think come to Otters on the 19th for the stuff you don't know, because everyone is hoping to get some sort of closure. And as a group, if we can just bid farewell to a close friend, I think that will be brilliant.
Talal could have planned his funeral or his final goodbye.
It would have been like Freddie Mercury's funeral.
We would like to think that he did with a drink in his hand and a mic in his other hand, So
Yeah, definitely.
Let's celebrate his life this 19th.